All right, guys. Thank you so much. It's Angelo Christian with Real Estate Insider. Another great edition. Today we have a fabulous guest, Mr. Mark Jeffrey with You Build It.
Good to be
Hey,
here.
thank you so much
You
for
bet.
coming on the show, man.
Sure.
Really awesome. So I actually used to own a construction company about 10 years ago. And I've been in the mortgage business for about 13 years. And I've always been fascinated with the concept of You Build It. I just never really took the initiative to kind of dig into it and learn about it. So I'm so privileged that you're here today, and want to learn and know. I'm sure that we have a lot of our followers on the show today. How can you tell me how does it work with your company? I mean, it seems like an amazing thing.
Well, it is a unique business model, but the main thing I tell people is it takes no building experience at all. That's what we're for. What our clients are doing is acting as a project manager. So the skills are making phone calls, writing checks. Certainly they do have to check on their job while it's under construction, that kind of thing. But the people that will listen and follow the program have the greatest success, and they don't need any building experience. They
Okay.
just need a willingness to be involved.
Okay, when you say follow the program, so is there a training or how does it?
Well, no training, the concept there is you train, you practice, third or fourth time you get it right, but we want to get it right the first time.
Right,
So we
right.
work as a team, and I tell people right from the start it should be called We Build It. That's really the way it works.
Right. Right.
So I do have a custom home business, and we're building around the greater Houston area all the time. And then there's You Build It for the
Yeah.
people that want to have a little more control than a
Yeah.
typical client does.
Right.
And so-
Now, I guess one of my questions is why is this here? Why is your business here?
This kind of thing's been done informally for years. And then the founder of the company, Chuck Warrender, he was in Seattle, and he sold out a few years ago now. But, he had done it informally for friends that wanted to be more involved. Maybe they wanted to save money, different angles. And so he took those opportunities and made a business model out of it.
Yeah.
And so it's been very successful since 1988.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, but the idea is that, hey, if the person wants to be part of the construction process, I guess that allows them obviously the autonomy to be involved. But what is is there any what's the intrinsic benefit or value of that? I mean,
Well, the typical client moves in with a 20% savings over hiring.
that's okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we can easily quantify that.
Okay.
A 20% savings over hiring a custom builder. And
Wow.
we've seen that year in and year out. Sometimes it might be 15%, sometimes 30%, and sometimes even more, but 20% is very typical.
Okay.
And you can look at it two ways. The 20% savings could be where you build a house at a 20% lower price, or you build a 20% better house.
Oh,
So a
okay.
lot of people
Right.
say, oh, I want the spray foam insulation,
Right.
I want this, I want that. And so that's what happens about half the time.
Okay, so let's say that a custom builder's at, let's say $100 a foot. So
Right.
you could typically say then you could probably show them a way how to get it done for
A little 85.
85.
something
Okay,
like
okay,
that.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. And then, or they could, if so, in reality, if they went to 100, it'd really be like $120 a foot, something like that.
Our houses right now are ranging 95 to 125. That's kind of the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll see under that, and certainly can see over that. Like
Sure.
this house that was just there, that was over. But that 20% savings is the common denominator.
Okay.
Yep.
So how does it work? So do they come to you and then you're like the gateway? You show them the trades or how it all like the behind the curtain how it works.
Exactly. So because I have a custom home business and we're doing this all the time, we have all the resources
Okay.
that are needed.
Right.
At the same time, the client is not required to use them. So, and we do measure how many of our subcontractor suppliers they use, and it's typically 80%.
Yeah.
And so the average client is mostly using the people that I use in my custom home business, but yet there's certainly some people that know some people they might be in the business and they're using some of their resources.
Okay.
So, we see all kinds of.
So let's say that I come to you and I want to build a $2 million house. hey, hey, Mark, it's Angelo. I want to build a $2 million house. So you're saying that if I came to you and I got a quote from, let's say, a custom builder, and he's at 2.5, we could. I mean, I know these are just numbers, but potentially we could get it built for 2.
Yeah,
If I brought
exactly.
his bid, just brought it to you and say, hey, I want to build this house right here because there's that much fluff with his margins in there.
Right,
Wow,
right.
that is unbelievable. That's a huge value.
You
That's a
know,
huge value.
if you're looking at a home that's on the market, so you got a builder that built a spec home and he's got it listed on the market, he's got a 30% margin
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And so a little bit of that goes to the realtor, but most of it is
Right.
going to the
Right.
builder.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so now, so does it? Because I saw that you build everywhere. Like you said, Hockley, Montrose, downtown, and somewhere like out in the county. I mean,
Easily
yeah.
a 60-mile radius.
Okay,
That's
okay.
any of our subcontractors and suppliers will go out an hour.
Okay.
And then when we go beyond that, they're going to be losing some
Oh,
of
yeah,
those subs. But we're doing one in Victoria right now.
Oh wow.
And
Wow.
he said there's price fixing going on in Victoria, so he wanted to work with us locally to be able to use our subcontractors and our discounts.
Wow. Now, but let's say that. I mean, isn't it true that depending on where you build, that the cost can vary? I mean, doesn't it cost more to build in the Heights than it would be to do in a Hockley?
Not a whole lot.
Really?
Not really. A little bit. So if we've got a client that's used to building in West U, let's pick the extreme. West U is the most difficult place to build.
Okay.
And so there are certainly some builders, some subcontractors that won't even go into West U. But on average, they probably charge a 5% premium in West U, a little bit less in Bel Air. But City of Houston, it's more about what kind of foundation rebuilding, what are the finishes you're putting into it. Those subcontractors they're working at pretty much the same margins wherever they go.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
But what about like with like approvals, like with the city and stuff? I mean, isn't there?
And we help with all that.
Oh, okay,
That's
wow.
that's part of our service.
That's huge. That's huge.
Oh yeah, the pre-construction phase takes 4 to 6 months, depending on how quickly they go through the design of the house.
Okay.
And sometimes people have plans, but we try to catch them very early. The reason being, I tell them, architects know what it costs to architect, builders know what it costs to build. So, if you do it the right way and get the builder involved from the start, we can make sure that design is
Right.
going to fit the budget.
Right. Right. Now, as far as like, let's say, is one of the things that I was just thinking about when this comes up, like, do you ever see any contention with bank financing when they're trying to go through you build it? Let's say that, I mean, because a lot of people, unless I don't know if a lot of people you're dealing with have cash. I'm sure some of them do, but some people use bank financing.
Right.
How does that work with your model, with your concept?
So we do sign as the builder of record.
Oh,
So,
okay,
so
okay,
we
okay.
and there are certainly some banks that don't like this concept.
Yeah.
It's because they haven't done it.
Yeah.
But the banks that we've worked with, they understand that we create equity and they love the business, so
Oh.
they'll take all we can send them.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
So it's some major banks.
Right, right.
Yep.
So it depends on. So I mean, I think that's one of the key things. It just depends on if the bank understands what you're doing, and there's a builder of record, and then they feel comfortable with it.
And builder record is a part of it, but the belts and suspenders and the whole process that we surround the client with to make sure that they have an accurate budget in the first place and that they utilize only the right portions of the budget as you go through the process. So
Yeah.
we spend a lot of time telling the clients this is how we're going to do this thing.
Yeah.
The money is important. If you want change orders, you got to pay for that out of your
Right,
pocket,
right.
or else we put a little contingency in.
So you how I see this, you're kind of like a mentor, right? I mean, you're overseeing it. You're the master, the grand wizard. You've been doing it for several decades, and people come to you to get your guidance and your counsel. And as the benefit of that, they can save a massive amount of money and learn, kind of the tricks of the trade per se.
So we've been in Houston now 14, going on 15 years, and we've worked with a few clients 2 times and a couple now 3 times.
Yeah.
Originally, almost everybody was building their own home. Now, about a third of our clients are investors in some strategy, because when you can build a house at a 20% savings, there's some different strategies there.
Yeah.
One of which is you live in the house for 2 years and you pay no capital gains taxes
Right.
on $500,000 for a married couple. And of course, you have to like moving.
Yeah.
So that's one scenario.
Yeah.
We've trained a few people to become builders. I can think of 3 that I've done in those 14 years that are now builders. They're going to figure out how to do it with me or without me, so I'd rather help them.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That is really cool. I mean, so there's a lot of goodwill that you're doing
Try to
help
yes.
to help people, and so I mean that is a really awesome thing. So as far as the process, like if somebody wanted to, I mean, I'm already thinking about ideas how to come to you because we want to build our house, and so I'm excited about that. I would definitely reach out to you. How does it work? Do they set up a consultation with you and make an appointment?
Mm-hmm.
Can you?
Yeah, and I do the sales myself.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow.
everybody makes an appointment with me, and I try to get people as early as possible.
Okay.
I'd say 2/3 of the people that come in have land, and maybe a third don't.
Okay.
And certainly a lot of them don't have plans. So we do try to catch them as early as possible, because I know the project's going to go smoother. We're going to make it go smoother,
Right.
and faster.
Right.
So-
Right. But I guess they contact you, they make an appointment. Now, if they, you're saying, come to you sooner, love, because that way you can help streamline the process. Because potentially, what if they already have plans or they have an architect?
And that's good too. We just have to see if that plan's going to fit their budget.
right, or that lot, right?
Yeah, and we are often helping people choose a piece of land. So they might, especially in town, they see these small lots. We'll go out, and often I'll take one of my designers with me, and we'll go walk the lot with the client and start talking about, how we would orient the house on that piece of property. So we do get involved early and help give good guidance. A lot of times they'll find a beautiful lot they like, and it's got an incredible tree on it, and there used to be a little bitty house on it, and the tree's real close. And first thing you do is that tree's got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I hate being the bad guy, but
Yeah.
those trees will grow back. That big tree like that's going to fall on your new house. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. That's true. Now, is there any other benefits besides the monetary savings? I mean, I guess the knowledge, the learning. I mean,
Yeah,
those are probably the two
people
biggest.
enjoy it
Yeah.
for sure.
I could see. Is there any best practices or like tenets of to avoid any type of major risk or downside? I mean, do they have to monitor the trades? Like, who's monitoring the?
Well, we
the-
do. We
okay.
all monitor the trades.
Okay.
And a lot of clients are going, well, I don't know the first thing about it. And I go, that's okay. By the time we start, you'll know more, and you'll
Right.
learn more as we go. But we're out at the job site with them throughout the process.
Yeah.
Not every day, like we would if we're the builder, but we're out there typically 20 times during construction.
Mm-hmm.
And if we need a few extra, we can do that. And then we have a process called You Build It Plus, and that's where we can run the job site for them, but they're still writing the checks and making all the decisions.
Okay.
You Build It Plus, people like the concept, but it's rarely used.
Yeah. Well, that's what the next thing I was asking. Let's say that you had an investor that says, "Hey, Mark, I want to put a spec home over here, I'm kind of curious about how the construction business works, but I have another business. I mean, is that something that you'd entertain?"
We've done that
Okay.
often. Yeah,
Okay.
we've always
Okay.
got a investment group right now building 3 townhomes near the medical center. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. They say, "Hey, listen, I don't know about Bill. I'm curious. I think there's a good opportunity. Is there something? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good because I could see myself, calling you because I've done that many times, and where I built a spec home like in, Dayton or Crosby or in Magnolia,
Right.
and I'd contact the builder and we put a deal together, and they've always worked out well.
And you got lucky then, because a lot of times people aren't getting much of a margin off
There
that because
wasn't.
they're still paying the builder
There
his
wasn't.
full fee. So in this,
I know I didn't make a lot of money, but it was very interesting to learn.
oh right,
No, I didn't make a lot of money on the houses. There wasn't much, but it was just to see the whole process for me and to find out how it works. And because, like you said, the more that you learn and the more exposure you have to it, inevitably you could become a builder or you're picking up these skills, and those skills are so valuable. And so I think what's one thing I really like about you too is that you're willing to share your knowledge. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that,
Right.
because they want to keep it close to the chest, because they know that, that knowledge is it's worth a lot of money, And so I really like that about you, that you're willing to give it out and help people, because I think in the end, that's why your business is here, is to help people, right?
That's exactly right.
And so
Yes.
that's what you're doing. So I think that's really good. How do people? Are we able to put his information online on your website? So your website here is,
Well, it's youbuildit.com.
Oh, it's youbuildit.com.
The letter U, build
Okay.
it. No dashes, no spaces, just youbuildit.com.
Okay.
And then they can navigate to the Houston Galleria office.
Okay, because you're in the Houston Gallery, and then you can be reached at your number here is the 713.
713-626-9980.
9980. So we'll make sure we get that online, guys. No, Mark, thank you so much for coming out today. We're going to get all this out on our social media so everyone can check it out. It was very nice to meet you. Everyone, this is Mark Jeffrey with youbuildit.com. Please, if you're looking to save a lot of money, you want to build a house. I do a lot of construction loans. I'm going to start referring my customers over to him. Give him a call. Check him out. Go to his office. Come to his website. Seems like an awesome guy. And you can save a lot of money when you're building a house. I love the idea. It's a great concept. This is another great edition of Real Estate Insider. We come here every single day to give you awesome content. Follow us on Facebook at Angelo Christian Mortgage, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be back again tomorrow with another great edition. You guys take care and have a great weekend. It's 4th of July. Be safe, and we'll see you guys next week.